It's the magic of math here, and today my lesson is on multiple steps to simplify an algebraic expression, where we are going to rewrite as addition, distribute, and combine like terms. Let's begin by understanding our objectives today. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to simplify linear expressions using distributive property and combining like terms. You will also be able to simplify expressions with rational numbers by using multiple operations. And you will write linear expressions in factored form. So we're really reviewing everything we've done so far in this unit when we've simplified expressions by combining like terms, simplified by distributing, adding, subtracting, expanding, and factoring. All right, here we go. Essential question for this lesson today is that I want you to think about what is important about order when we simplify an algebraic expression with parentheses and like terms. All right, here we go. Let's simplify expressions. Sometimes multiple operations are necessary to simplify a linear expression. So we're going to simplify this algebraic expression, -3 multiplied by the quantity x plus 4 plus 9x. And this is a linear expression, remember, because the exponents of the variables are all 1, that invisible 1. So let's do this. We're going to simplify a linear expression, 3 simple steps. If necessary, we're going to rewrite as addition. That's not necessary. We got add 4 and add 9x, so we don't need to do step 1. Step 2, if necessary, distribute to clear the parentheses. So when we think about order, the first thing we want to do is clear the parentheses, and to do that, we're going to distribute. So just like you use order of operations for numerical expressions, we're going to clear parentheses here first as well. So we're going to take -3 and multiply it by x, and that gives us -3x. Then -3 multiplied to the second term, which is +4, is going to give me add -12. So -3 times 4 is -12, but remember we want to write it as add -12. And then we have that add 9x hanging out over here. It's not in the parentheses, so we don't distribute. Step 3, now that we've cleared the parentheses, is, if necessary, combine like terms. So I look at my expression, I have 3 terms, and I can see that I have 2 like terms, 2 variable terms that can be added. -3x and 9x are +6x. And then I have my add -12, and I know that I can rewrite this as 6x subtract 12, which is equivalent to 6x add -12. All right, now it's your turn. Here I've left you the 3 steps. You have this linear expression to simplify. Pause here, do your best work, and then come back to see mine. Good luck. Welcome back. Here's our solution. So the first thing I want to do is I want to, if necessary, rewrite as addition. I can see that that is necessary. I have subtract 5 inside the parentheses and then subtract 4x outside. So let's rewrite this. I'm going to use brackets so that I don't have double parentheses. 6 times the quantity x add -5, so add the opposite, and then add -4x, add -4x. So I've rewritten using addition. Step 2, if necessary, distribute to clear the parentheses. So being clear, we're going to clear these brackets that I wrote just so I didn't have double parentheses with this. We don't need to clear these because that's just trapping that negative sign. So let's distribute. 6 times x is 6x. 6 times -5 is add -30. 6 times -5, -30. And then we're going to add our -4x. Step 3, if necessary, combine like terms. So I have 6x and -4x are like terms. They're both a variable term. 6x and -4x are +2x, and then I have my add -30. Now I can rewrite that as 2x subtract 30 because it's equivalent to 2x add -30. All right, here's another one that's for you. Distributing with fractions. So this time I didn't give you the 3 simple steps, but I still want you to think about what those would be and try to do them in order. Go ahead and pause here and come back when you're done. Welcome back. Here's the solution. First thing I'm going to do is rewrite this linear expression using addition. My 1/6 x, add my 1/3, and then 1/2 x, add the opposite, add -1. So now I'm going to distribute, bring down my 1/6 x because I'm distributing positive 1/3 to each term inside. So 1/3 times 1/2 x is 1/6 x. 1/3 times -1 is going to be -1/3. Now I'm looking for like terms, which I have right here. 1/6 x plus 1/6 x already has a common denominator, so I get 2/6 x, and then add my -1/3. I can simplify one step further. 2/6 can be simplified to 1/3 x, and then rewrite add an opposite by subtract the positive. 1/3 x, subtract 1/3. All right, here is our final question for the video. I want you to consider each step to show how to simplify and express the result in factored form. So step 1, you're going to use the distributive property to this linear expression and pick which one it's equivalent to. Then in step 2, combine like terms and pick the expression it's equivalent to. Step 3, write in factored form and pick the equivalent expression in factored form. Pause here and come back when you're ready to check your work. Good luck. Welcome back. Here's our solution. We're going to use the distributive property first. So we're going to multiply 3 times 2x, which gives me 6x. 3 times -1 is -3. And then I have my subtract 5. So 6x subtract 3 subtract 5 is equivalent. All right, now we want to combine like terms. My like terms here are my constants, -3 and -5. So I'm going to have 6x and -3 and -5 are -8, giving me the second expression, 6x subtract 8, when I combine like terms. And finally, we want to write this in factored form. So I'm going to factor. Prime factorization of 6x is 2 times 3 times x. And the prime factorization of 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. So they have the factor 2 in common. So that goes on the outside of my parentheses. And then the first term is my 6x, what remains after I take out the greatest common factor, which is 3x. So 3 times x is 3x. I know the operation that goes between them is going to be the same, so it's going to be subtract. And then my remaining factors of 8 that aren't, when I take my greatest common factor out, are 2 times 2, which is 4, and close my parenthesis. And I can see that that is this last choice, 2 multiplied by 3x subtract 4. And there you have it. That is how you simplify algebraic or linear expressions with multiple steps. We rewrite as addition, we distribute, and we combine like terms. Thanks for joining me today at The Magic of Math, where we master math one video at a time. Hope you have a great day and come back soon.